Hey guys, Pelly here, and this will be my first episode of Tao of Pelly. So, gonna do a little explaining as to what I'm hoping to achieve here while I wash some dishes. I'm gonna go close the door so the kids don't wake up. Okay, that's a little better. Okay, so let's see. Things that I need to make my own life better, because I'm trying to give myself advice and share that advice and its success with the world. Number one, I definitely want a little bit more time to enjoy the good stuff. My wife, my family, go somewhere, visit my mom, my grandparents, the rest of my family down in Southern California. We live in a cool little house up in mid-Northern California, and we're pretty content, but cost of living is high and finances are definitely a concern, and they're going to be on my list of things to fix in the next, let's say, year. Pet peeves in my life right now that I consider to be solvable problems. Sinks left with dishwater are actually a pretty high ranker, which shows that my life could be way worse. Not knowing which bank account the money's coming out of, and therefore bouncing a check when you actually have the money, so you basically paid an extra $20 on something you actually had the money for. High on my list also. We have raccoons. While I think raccoons are kind of cute, they've earned their name as trash pandas, and I'll have to insert a picture right about here to show my problem with the trash pandas. However, I think I can solve that problem, so I think that'll be a goal to solve in the next little while, because this is about solving and making good choices so that I can continue to make good choices and have a life that's pretty good. Okay, now that I've dealt with this nasty-ass sink full of swag, I can rinse it and get some dishes done. Let's see. So, a little introduction to me. 37 years old. I have tried a lot of things to make some money. I really, really always have enjoyed people. I grew up in a family restaurant. I think I greeted more people in my first few years of life than many people that I meet in the business that I run have, in their whole lives. Just because I was constantly exposed and I wasn't really raised to be anything but that guy. I teach, I train, I sell, I manage. I'm pretty good at it too. The business I'm with was having some financial issues when I took over as the manager, and now we have challenges, but they're not issues. And that feels pretty good. That's some stuff that I'll be sharing on my channel, Kelly the Captain. I've chosen to go with these different channels because not everybody cares about business. I have one called Pelly the Planeswalker because not everyone cares about Magic the Gathering. Although, man, if you did, you'd realize that there's so much to parallel in life. The metaphor and everything else will bleed over into this channel, but I'll try to keep most of it on that channel and just tell you when there's something interesting. I like to garden, but I haven't been able to do it since I took over really as the manager, because so much of my time has been there. So even though I've got a good handle on the basics of our business, it's actually of extreme importance to me that I learn to manage my time better, which will be a huge part of what I'm doing. So this week, maybe before the next message, the next communication here, maybe not, I'm going to be building an enclosure that will keep our trash contained so that the trash pandas can't destroy my garbage cans anymore. That will actually save me probably a good 15 minutes a week, which we'll do the math in a minute, and 15 minutes a week times 52 weeks. Those are good numbers of time to save. I can spend more of that time in the garden, or working on projects that can increase the revenue, or just playing cards with the kids. That's always good. I help at a local elementary school. I play Magic with them up there, teach them about math and strategy. a couple other groups and events. I have personally more ambitious competitive goals. I do have some high goals that I'll explain on either channel. And I have other business endeavors that I'd like to get into. While I really enjoy playing games and I really enjoy managing somebody else's business, I manage a cooperative grocery store, which is pretty rad actually, owned by our whole community, and I get to be the captain for however long I'm the captain. But someday I won't be the captain, and unfortunately there's not really much in the way of legacy or retirement. It just is not really there yet on the list of things to get done for the group, for the company. But personally, I don't want to wait that long before I feel more financial security, so I want to chase some dreams, some goals, figure out what the hell they are. We have 4 kids, my wife and I. Older boy, older girl, younger boy, younger girl, and they'll all be homeschooled. We live in California. We have contrary opinions on vaccination. You don't have to share them. You're welcome to comment on them. It may even be something we can talk about later. But our decisions are made with a reasonable amount of education and also a certain amount of respect for the natural world and a certain distrust for the establishment, which is a choice. And we've made it and we're good with it. But that's that. All in all, our kids have had very healthy lives. They're high energy, a bit obnoxious sometimes. They ask questions about things that we think are way too advanced for them, and looking back I realize that that's pretty par for the course. Let's see here. That sums it up. I'm scheduling this time for creating content at the same time as I do dishes, both in the name of generally saving time. See, that's not fun. But first time saver in the world. This little tool is called the Pan Scraper, and our good friends Beth and DW in North Carolina. Gosh, we were, what year was that? 2003, I guess? 2003, we met them and they introduced us to the Pan Scraper, and oh my god, I like it so much. It can be used in damn near anything because it's plastic and it doesn't cause troubles. It reminds me, actually, the dishes reminded me of cooking. And one of the things that I've noticed as I work with younger people in the business that I run is that they really don't know much about food. They know a little bit, they can get by, but they just, home ec isn't really a thing that's learned in school anymore. And, where their food comes from and how to prepare it and what's involved. I mean, I have people coming in the store, an organic natural food store, that actually have never experienced kale, who've never made their own pancakes or scrambled an egg or made a freaking, lasagna or grilled cheese sandwich. And so I'm going to have a channel about that. It's currently called the Dime Store Chef, but it's never actually had an actual video published, and I'll probably put it into the Pelly family of stuff, just so that it makes sense to everybody to come and search it out. And so when I link it, you'll all know it's the same guy doing all this other stuff. But personally, if you don't like cooking things, I don't want you to get a notification for something that doesn't interest you. So you can follow my varied ideas separately, and that way we can be as good of friends as you want to be. Let's see. I'm saying more than I intend to in the future. I read a lot of books. I'm a fan of productivity applications. I'll do some demonstrations on that on various channels. Evernote. It's one of my best friends there. I use it for everything. I was at a food show, and I gotta say, I'll probably do a video next time I go to a food show on how fantastic it is for things like food shows. I will also be, let's see here. I do that. I use some apps for magic. I'm a real big fan of almost all of the Google online apps. The fact that they don't cost anything, that I can share them and work simultaneously, that they do this on a level that makes sense. I mean, if you need a chart or a basic thing, it works. If you need the basic use of whatever, but it doesn't cost $200 to run the platform, and it's pretty user-friendly, and I like that I can teach a new person to use it pretty quickly. I use it for a lot of managing the business, so I'll do some stuff on that. So I run businesses. I work with teenagers and other people. The business is, it has maybe about 20 employees on average, sometimes 25, depending on if I have training people. And they run ages from 14 all the way up to 75 right now. And they do various jobs based on experience, age restrictions. We have a deli department. We have a cafe department with baristas. We have a decent little grocery store, actually. I like it. I do a couple things with that on a separate thing that are going to do some food stuff with various people. But it'll be more complex. My personal cooking show is largely going to surround a frying pan, a pot, and a knife and a spoon, and we're going to make some amazingly fun and simple food. Let's see. If there's anything you want to see first, the garden, the cooking, the business management, etc., relationship and family stuff, let me know, and I'll either kick off that channel first or I'll direct you to it if it's already there. Let's see here. Food-wise, I eat almost everything. I do like meat. I'm pro the concept of of vegan. I'm not neurotic about it. I think that it would be beneficial if everybody ate less meat, but I don't think that we necessarily have to stop to have healthy lives, nor do I believe that we all need to live to be 100 years old. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people living to be quite old that really are past their warranty and are, just running on the extended warranty, which is really not the best deal. So far, my fitness is not my favorite of my life. I'm 37 and I'm actually starting to notice. I was pulling a piñata at our son's party for his birthday, and I saw the video that my father-in-law took, and I didn't really get changed. I was wearing kind of a tighter under white shirt, whatever, and I just kind of got sidetracked and didn't get fully dressed. And I was like, dude, that guy's kind of fat. It was me, of course. Just a little extra right there. I don't like it when my stomach sticks out past my chest, so you may very well find some fitness being part of what I'm doing. Although the garden and some of the building projects are also fitness-based, I will probably do a lot of the projects without power tools, simply because I do believe that projects like that are really great for your personal fitness, and if you're not being paid for them, then it's probably efficient to spend some time working muscles and getting more out of the project, because I really find that just gym time is really monotonous, and I'm personally kind of bored by it. I don't like to sit and do yoga, but I'll stretch in the morning. I don't like to lift weights, but I like to work hard and pick up heavy things and move them around. And so if I build things, I'll probably do them a little bit more physically and a little bit less power tool wise. I know how to use most of them, and I like them, and sometimes if I have a project or if I come up with a business idea that's actually got productivity as a focus, you better believe I'll be pulling out some tools, and that'll be a fun little thing to see. I have a background in foundry work and in theater work, building sets. The foundry work is Renaissance Festival based. We did demonstrations, we did bronze casting, we did some pewter casting. I've made a few masterpieces, master space pieces, and a few pieces that were pretty cool. None of them really would be in the qualification of actual masterpieces. I would like to think that I have in no way achieved my opus there. Let's see here. I like organic vegetables and fruit above all other. I would opt out of the banana, or I'll take it organic, and it's because the flavor really is better. I am, let's see here, fascinated by community ventures. I have aspirations for not just my own little backyard garden, but either expanding it or maybe acquiring a piece of property for a mini farm at some point in time in my life. I've got a few friends that are also doing that, and so we may visit them in some of our things to see what they're up to and help them with varied projects. Let's see here. There we go. Our house is pretty fun. We'd like to buy it, and so the quest for a down payment that makes sense is there. I'm not afraid of credit, but I know it's dangerous, and I've got plenty of it, and my wife also has plenty of it. She got a lot before we ever met, actually. Okay. So, supposedly one of my jobs is pots and pans. However, often enough, there's more to wash. We have a 15-month-old baby. She's got hands all over everything and doesn't go to sleep on any real terms. We're not really the whiskey in the bottle type, so sometimes she's just up and in the way. So I often end up with a little extra in my stack to do. I work probably 60 to 80 hours a week. I do probably get a little lost in my distractions. I'm pretty tech savvy. A lot of what I do is benefited by tech, but also that means that sometimes unfiltered information can cause me some delays. So I'll be implementing a few habits to help me knock those out. Let's see. Tim Ferriss has a book called The 4-Hour Workweek. It's about owning your life again, pretty much. I really dig that book. Also a fan of Robert Kiyosaki. Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad was the first book that I read by him, and then I read The Cash Flow Quadrant. In the name of teaching our kids more about money, we picked up his game, Cash Flow, which we've played a couple of times. I got out of the rat race first once, but I definitely want to play more. We'll be airing that on probably this channel, but maybe we'll play it on another channel too. Mostly I think this channel will have a little bit of me rambling on all of it, and then if you really want to look at anything specific, you can go to the other channel and watch whatever link is set up for that, so that we keep it streamlined. Anyways, we also got Cash Flow for Kids. Cash Flow I got for like $3 or something at our local thrift market. It's open twice a month. It's run by our senior center. And they have a great little book section, but rarely do I find the kind of books I like to read in there. And there's a whole lot of books, but just like a bookstore, it's 90% things you don't want to read, 10% things you've already read, and, well, there's an extra percent that is what you want to look for. So, it's terrible math, I know. I can do math better than that. But it's about 90% things you don't want to read, and 90% things you've already dealt with, and 1% stuff you want to pick up. There we go. You can clip that later. I've got, let's see here, some techniques that I use for various projects. Productivity-wise, I use an iPhone. I'm not opposed to Android, but I really do like the simplicity of my Apple phone. And the camera is fantastic. I'm using the iPad that I have, its camera, which is not quite as fantastic, and being my first video, I'm knowing my lighting kind of sucks right now. So we'll work that out. I guess in the process, maybe I'll have to be one of those guys that makes YouTube videos about how to make YouTube videos, but I think I better learn how to make a good YouTube video first, because I'm giving enough advice. Let's see here. Well, that pretty much sums it up. I'm going to keep washing these dishes, and then I'm going to get on with life. So, projects for the week, to recap. I'm going to stop the trash pandas from invading my space. And that's going to be a huge time saver. And with the extra couple hours a month, I'm going to think of something really fun to do with it that makes my life better. I'm also going to try to keep my work days to 10 hours or less to start with here, and work on developing some systems that make that happen. So look for some reports in that department. In the garden, I'll be doing some early mornings on Pelly the Gardener. And the first couple will be just laying out the plans, followed by hanging the fence. I've done a little bit of work. I got the poles in for the garden, but I haven't got the whole thing in place. So the fence that I need for the crazy ass annoying dog, and to keep the other critters from getting in the way as much, hasn't been constructed yet. I just have the poles. I need to buy the wire for it. But budget-wise, just kind of one thing at a time. I may eventually set up a Patreon account. I will be monetizing my channel, so, you know, if it interests you, watch the ad, get the thing, do whatever. Support this idea because it could be good for all of us. Yeah, like, subscribe, share, tell people about me. We'll have some fun. Let's get to 1,000 subscribers. I bet there's at least 1,000 people out there that I could help. I bet there's 1,000,000 people out there that I could help. Everybody I've ever met has found me to be able to help them. And the ones that I haven't been able to help have not actually been looking for help. So I haven't had to try too hard. Now have I? Alright, well, we'll see you soon. Like, share, subscribe.